guys, it's Roxana here with the blog aquaintlifeblog.com. Today I'm standing in my entertaining space. This is my outdoor kitchen, and I wanted to give you kind of a small tour of it and talk about entertaining. So for us, during the summer especially, we entertain a ton out here, and this is sort of the perfect space for us because we have the pool as our backdrop. Some people like to grab like a glass of wine or something and sort of tour the gardens as well when the food's cooking, and it's just really a perfect space that we've created here. Family, and what that means is I work from home and I school from home, and I'm here with my daughter every day, Monday through Sunday, every single week. And so it's important that we're home so much that we bring people into this space as well. So a big part of what I do is I try to cultivate different spaces within our property that we can enjoy with other people when they get brought in. You know, being a single mom, so to speak, is, you know, she is my little helper, but it is difficult to entertain kind of by yourself when you're trying to get everything ready, decorate it, clean it, and then also cook. So I thought I'd put together just a few things if you're somebody that, single or not, you'd like to entertain, but you just don't want to have anything go wrong as far as the food. You want something hassle-free but delicious that you can put together for your guests. And so here is some of those items that I find to be just perfect. Little change in scenery. I had to come in. It was sweltering out there already. Today I think it's going to be like 103. So moving on. The very first one I have for you is probably one you've seen before, but it's my tomato, I guess it's tomato mozzarella salad, and I don't want to put herbs in the title because sometimes if you don't have herbs, this one you can do with or without herbs. Salt and pepper work fine for the top of this, but it's just simply cut mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, just like you would get in slices at the store. So it's one package of that, about 2 pounds of tomatoes, depending on how big your tomatoes and what sort you're using. But you want to just make sure that you eyeball it and kind of get enough for the amount of cheese that you have for the platter. So usually I find just a couple pounds of beefsteak tomatoes work great for that one log of mozzarella that is typical to find in a grocery store. And I just lay it all out in cheese tomato fashion, so everybody gets a cheese and a tomato when they scoop it up. And if I have fresh herbs, I'll sprinkle it over the top, some olive oil, salt and pepper, and vinegar is optional. I find that some people don't really like the vinegar on top, but I do. So if it's just me and a few people that I know like the vinegar, I'll either wait, put it on the table, or I'll put it on top, just depending on who I'm serving. But that's totally optional, but it's a great one. It's a beautiful one to put on your table, and a lot of people like this one. So I wanted to make sure that that is first on the list. Moving on, we have a cantaloupe and prosciutto. So prosciutto and melon, or I should say. We had this first in Rome on our trip, and it was a delicious one. It was actually an entire meal, you know, because you have your meat, you have your sweet and salty, and it's just very satisfying. It's a little bit weird. I put this one online, and I think it's the most controversial recipe I put online. I have not put it on the blog yet, but I did post this a couple of places on my social media, and people were just like, what is that? You know, that looks weird, meat on fruit. And so yeah, it's meat on fruit. It's prosciutto thinly sliced. You're going to just basically tear it and drape it over the pieces of cantaloupe. Super easy to do. The most important thing is to get a very good cantaloupe, because if you have just a dry cantaloupe or one that doesn't have any flavor, it's going to kind of ruin this platter. You make sure you get a cantaloupe from a farmer's market, or an organic cantaloupe from a good source is, I find, sort of foolproof on that one. Next up after that, of course, you have to have a couple mains, and so this is a spatchcock chicken recipe, and I actually have not only a blog post on this one, but I have it in the link on the blog post itself, on this blog post in particular, and there's also a video showing you how to do it. So if you need a video form, it's on the blog post for it, and there's also step-by-step instructions as always along with the recipe. So it's really simple to make. I love this one because it really does not require much. You cut it open, salt, pepper both sides, olive oil, boom, goes on the grill. And you can just set a timer to flip it and be able to be with your guests on this one. So you could put 2 chickens on there if you're feeding a bigger crowd, or even 3 chickens if you have a grill big enough for it. But it's very versatile. When it's finished, I like to squirt some lemon juice and some fresh herbs on top if you have them, and people love this one. So it's a fun one to make and put on the table, and it makes a great presentation. Moving on after that, we have slow cooked ribs in the oven. This one I have done, I don't know. You know, the tomato mozzarella one is my signature one I bring every time I'm, responsible for bringing something. But this rib one is one that I like to make a lot, even in the winter time, because you just pop it into the oven for 3 hours, forget about it, and pull it out, and they're perfect. They're perfect every time, and I don't have to stand at the kitchen or stand at the grill and try to entertain people and just enjoy my guests, right? That's part of this whole blog post, is because I just, it gets tiring to be cooking and entertaining people and trying to talk to your guests, and it's just too much sometimes. So when you can throw something in the oven, and you can even do this before the guests arrive, have it ready with the foil over to keep warm, slice it up, put it on a platter, and just kind of set it aside until you're ready to serve. So it's a great one for entertaining. Moving on from that, we need a dessert. And so a couple desserts that I love to make, especially for the summertime, are tarts. They sound fancy, but they are actually easier than baking a whole pie. It is from scratch, as most things that you'll find on this channel and on the blog, but just because it's from scratch does not mean that it's complicated. So I have the full recipe for both my blueberry tart now up with the peach tart, and both of them are just crowd pleasers. They're beautiful on your table, simple to make, and it's great to use those summer fruits for this one. So if you're entertaining in the summer, these are great pies, or I shouldn't say pies, but they're tarts. They're perfect tarts to put on your table for entertaining. So there it is. There's my list of 5 easy things to put on your summer entertaining table, and I hope it was helpful. I hope that you find yourself wanting to entertain more, and just do it in a low-key way where you're still serving great food, but it's minimal effort, right? That's what it's about, so that you can enjoy your time with your guests, want to entertain more, and just enjoy your summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time,